Hello and welcome to Andy Anand's kitchen again, and I'm going to show you today what Sindhis are not known for, but it's an important part of the Sindhi culture. For those of you who don't know Sindhis are a community based in southern Pakistan. Actually, they come from the city of Karachi, the state of Sindh in Pakistan. But majority of Sindhis migrated to India, and they brought the food along with it. And there are a lot of Sindhis still obviously in Pakistan. So today I'm going to, and Sindhis are known for their business skills. But today I'm going to show you Sindhis are also known for the cuisine. So I'm going to show you what might be called as the Sindhi National Dish, which is called Sai Bhaji in Sindhi, which actually is spinach and chana dal, or spinach and Bengal dal cooked together. So I'm going to do that in a second. Chana dal is also known as Bengal gram. So what we want to do is take about 300 grams of chana dal, wash and soak it for about 2 hours. Okay, so now we are going to look at the ingredients. So we have 2 red onions here, 1 pot of garlic, a piece of ginger as you see, and I have got 5 green chilies. Okay, and then I have got 8 tomatoes. I have got this chana dal or Bengal gram, which has been soaked for about 2 hours. And then I've got 2 packets of frozen spinach. Now you can use fresh spinach if you don't want to use frozen. I like frozen because I actually get fresh spinach and then I'll forget it in the fridge and it'll go bad. So I only use frozen because it's much easier for me. But you can replace each pack with a large bunch of fresh spinach, or you can use one big 1 pound spinach, baby spinach, which you get. So you can use that also. You can do that. Tomatoes, as I said, is 8 tomatoes, and those are the ingredients. And now what we will tomatoes can be replaced with either tomato paste or a can of tomato sauce. You can also replace it with tamarind, though it will color your Sai Bhaji or your end product, or you can replace it with lime juice. But I like tomatoes much better. I like a lot of tomatoes because they give you the acidity. And then onions, again, you can reduce it, you can increase it. The ingredient quantity here is not very critical. You can go up and down. Instead of 2, you can use 1.5. If you don't like spicy, you can go less. You can do all that. Okay, and the traditional recipe for Sai Bhaji actually calls also for a little bit of methi, a little bit of a green which is called chuka in India, which is also called ambat in Marathi, which gives you that sourness. And there is actually, the original Sai Bhaji was always made during Diwali, and you would put a little bit of 9 vegetables. Okay, 9 little vegetables. So you could put say half a carrot, 1 potato, some 9 things. And in old times, that was considered a way of making a dish grand by saying, oh, I have 9 ingredients. But this is, I always will show you all very, very simple recipes. This entire recipe can be made in half an hour. That is my goal. So we are going to go through it. Okay, so I'll get the ingredients prepped up and then we'll meet again in a few minutes. So we are at the next step where we are going to start cooking the Sai Bhaji, or palak dal, spinach and dal lentil mixture. So here are the ingredients prepared. So we have onions, ginger, green chilies, and you can use any chilies, and tomatoes, and the chana dal which has been soaked, and we have 2 packets of frozen spinach. Now if you see, everything is chopped rough. This is a very, very rustic dish. It does not require any precise cutting, chopping, anything. This is very, very rustic dish. You can cut and chop very, very roughly, and that's why it's one of the most simplest recipes to make. So like, I'm going to cook this now in the Instapot, an electric cooker. But if you don't have one, you can very well use a pressure cooker, or you can even use a pot on the stove, how it was traditionally made. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to take the chana dal and just chuck in the chana dal, just put everything in. Okay, and then on top of that, I'm going to put the frozen spinach. Okay, now remember, I have not even thawed the spinach because I want to show you an easy recipes where you don't have to do any pre-work. Just simply put in frozen spinach, 2 packets of those frozen spinach, and then here everything, onions, ginger, green chilies, everything simply goes in. Up goes the tomatoes. Okay, now the only ingredient left out at this point is, there are 3 things. There is salt, there is garlic, and there is turmeric powder. So those we'll put in later. So right now everything is there, and then we put 1 cup of water. Now you can actually put more or less water. Since I'm using frozen spinach, it already has a lot of liquid in it, so we don't require anything more. Here it is. So we are going to now seal up our Instapot electric cooker, and as I said, you can use anything. And I am going to turn it on, and I'm going to put it for 20 minutes on the pressure cooker. So let me grab my glasses. And what we are going to do is we are going to turn the pressure cooker function on and put it to 20 minutes, and it will start. Okay. And now you can, as I said, you can also cook it in a stove. Now, if you're cooking on a stove, you have to keep it on a medium flame for at least, I'd say, 3 hours. Okay, you don't have to watch it. You just keep it on a medium flame for 3 hours and forget about it. Or you can actually cook it in a slow cooker function of an Instapot and keep it overnight. Nothing will happen to it. It will be perfectly cooked. So now, if you saw, the prep time was about 15 minutes. Okay, and after this is done, there is 15 more minutes of work. So this recipe will take no more than 30 minutes. So I'll meet you back in about 30 minutes when the pressure it has got cooked, and I'll show you the next step. Thank you. Okay, so now we are going to come to the third stage of Sai Bhaji or Dal Palak. Here our cooker has been cooked, it has been pressure cooked for about 20 minutes, and I'm going to open the pressure cooker now. And as you see, everything is cooked. Now I use a special churner, as it is called, or in Hindi it's called manthal dand, which I like. It is a wooden thing. I personally like this one. You can also get one of these in American stores. I actually got this from dollar store, but I don't like it as much. I like this. Or you could even use a mechanical blender or something. But the mechanical blender, what it does is it really blends it. We don't want this blend. This is rough, a rustic dish. So all you have to do is hit. If you see, all you have to do is hit. And at this point, I'm going to add in 2 more ingredients: salt, which we had not added earlier, and turmeric. So I'm going to add salt and turmeric. Just let them go in, and I'm going to churn, hit and then turn, hit and then turn. So while you're doing this, okay, and if you want to test, the only thing which really requires big cooking was the dal. So you can take out a piece of dal and check it. Like, how do you check it? You crush it between your fingers and see if it can be soft. That's done, which will be done, I know that. Okay, and you churn. Okay, so while I'm churning this, and I'll tell you at what point I think it is ready. So all of this doesn't have to get like a smooth paste. There has to be some amount of texture in this, but also ingredients have to sort of get mixed. So you'll see onions, tomatoes now, which were looking whole, now getting mixed up. Okay, so you churn this all. The consistency could be whatever you like to. Some people like thick Sai Bhaji, somebody likes, and now I could even do this, a little bit of churning like this. Now we are on the final state of the Sai Bhaji, final step of the Sai Bhaji or the Dal Palak. So here, let's see, which we were churning it earlier. Now at this point, you can taste it for salt. And if you feel that it's not spicy enough, you can put more red chilies. And if you think it is not thick enough, you can put a little more water. So I'm going to put a little more water. Okay, and if you add water late at this stage, you always have to add hot water or warm water. You never put cold water. So I'm going to put a little more water because it has to cook a little bit. Okay, so that's it, just enough. Okay, and then I have the tadka, which I'm going to make the tempering. And so here I have the oil heating up, and there will be 2 ingredients which will go in: garlic, and there is asafoetida or hing. Okay, my wife likes hing, so I'm going to put it. If I was to cook my own recipe, I would only put garlic, but I have to please my wife, so I'm going to put both today. So here the oil has been heating up, and then I'll put all this sliced garlic. I'll chuck it all in. Now this is burnt garlic, so we have to wait for the garlic to burn. It will take a few minutes. So while this is happening, you all remember that we had earlier cooked the pulao. So we have the pulao, the burnt garlic pulao ready. Okay. And what I have done is I have dished it out. I have actually taken a little bit of this pulao, and I've used this little mold. I have this pink silicone mold, and I made these 2 little hearts, if you see. Okay, and I told you that the pulao has to be garnished with green garlic, which I didn't have. So what I have done is instead used cilantro or green chopped coriander. You can also use green onions. You know, it's a green thing, but for the flavor, it's always going to be green. So we are going to keep this aside, and we are going to come back to our garlic, which has been cooking. It will take a few minutes. We have to be really patient with this. What I can do is I can go to a little more higher flame so it goes a little faster. And then what you are seeing on the side is these papads, and I have shot a separate video about how to roast papad, which I have shown you. Now if you see garlic, it's all coming together, it's browning, so we have to wait for a few more seconds till it browns. Now asafoetida will just go, the hing will just go right at the end, because it being dry it will burn if you put it any sooner. So I also like to do this, bring all of it on one side so it fries. You have to be very, very patient in cooking. If you're not, then you'll never get a good product. Now, overall, Sai Bhaji doesn't take more than 30 minutes to cook. If you remember, everything is roughly chopped, put into the pressure cooker, cooked for 20 minutes on pressure cooker. Chopping hardly takes 10 minutes. Putting in the pressure cooker, churning and making the tadka takes 10 more minutes. 30 minutes at the most, your Sai Bhaji is going to be ready. The pulao which I showed you earlier similarly doesn't take any more than 30 minutes. So if you're going to make the full meal, it takes you 1 hour to cook both of them. So the garlic still needs a little more browning. And you can see all that flavor components coming out of the pulao, the garlic pulao. I think at this point, if you see, the garlic is ready. So what I'm going to do is first shut off the flame, and then I'm going to put the asafoetida because oil is hot enough for it to work, and then just stir it in. And now I'm going to take this up, pour it all on the Sai Bhaji. Okay, and then I'm going to take a spoonful of the Sai Bhaji and pour it in the pan so that all the flavor goes out. Okay, and that's it. And then we give it a good stir. You can give it a good stir, whatever. And you can cook it for a little while after this, or you can just cover it and keep it for 10 minutes. Since we are short of time, I'm just going to serve it right away. So here is our plate, which we had earlier designed. So now we are going to take a little bit of this Sai Bhaji and just spoon it on the sides. The Sai Bhaji doesn't need any garnish itself because it has this green and yellow. So two colors are already there, which act as its own garnish. So there we have the Sai Bhaji, little bit here, so to make it look full. And there we have the plate. Let's keep it here. And we have the papad on the side, and that is our full meal. And that's your Sai Bhaji. So please watch both these videos and come back and see my channel. And if you have any questions, my WhatsApp link and my website magicallives.com is there on the link. Please subscribe to my videos, and I'll see you in your next video. Thank you.